Well, as you might have gathered, David suckered me into doing Bloomsday. So, welcome to the Bloomsday episode. This is a fun recap. It was a fun race, kind of. I mean, you'll hear my complaints. But we enjoy the rough recording in the car before the race, and then amongst the family at the end. You'll hear appearances by our mom and Tiana, and I think Elise pops in there, and you hear a couple kids make their presence known a few times. But yeah, enjoy the episode. It was a lot of fun. And hopefully we'll get to recap with a couple people that did the race as well later in the week. So be on the lookout for that. Enjoy. So we're on our way to Bloomsday with David and Nickie.
Hi.
And yeah, how are we feeling? How are you guys feeling? Nickie's nervous.
I'm so nervous. I'm so incredibly nervous.
My arms still hurt from arm day on Tuesday. Extremely bad. My triceps are shot. Luckily, I'm not running on my triceps.
That would be very unfortunate if you did.
But, yeah, it's not great.
Well, Nickie's got a lot of pressure because this is your last race ever if you don't beat your time, huh?
That's what she said yesterday. She said she's never going to put her running shoes on again if she doesn't beat her time from last year.
Is that accurate?
No.
No? That's not accurate?
No, that's not accurate.
Okay.
I did Bloomsday in 2014.
Yeah.
My first time since being a child. And I was a young runner, an immature runner, and I was just happy to get it done. Now it's 10 years later. I want to beat that time. I'm a stronger runner. I know what I'm doing. I have better form. I just want to beat that time. And if I don't beat that time, then it's probably not possible, and I'm only going to come back here for fun and not try and beat it.
But you were saying earlier that you have a really hard time running just for fun.
Yes, I do. I'll have to be with a child in order to have fun.
Oh, okay.
So if any of the grandkids want to run Bloomsday, I'll run with them.
Okay, all right, that's fair.
It's kind of like my skiing. I'm really here for the kids.
Yeah.
So how often do you give yourself ultimatums on your running like this?
This is the first one.
Okay, you don't have other... I feel like this is a thing of like, I'm doing this or else.
Well, I think I do approach a lot of runs with I'm doing this or else, but I don't have a defined or else.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just, I'm doing this or it's all over.
I'm doing this sort of as the last benchmark of I'm getting older. I'm probably not going to get faster. That's reality.
That's fair. David.
Yeah.
What's your intention?
So I have the same strategy every year. You run the first 3 miles in 21 minutes and hope it works out after that.
That does not bode well for me because you know I have to try to stay with you the whole time, and I don't know if I can do a 21.
I never have
3K,
actually done the 21 in the
5K.
first 3 miles. This is just what I tell myself. And then I go out and I run pretty fast. I'm like, 22, close enough, and it'll work out just fine. Now, here's the real question, though. How hard are you and I racing each other in this thing?
That's the real question.
Not hard until the end.
Okay.
Because you're in better
So I need to be way away from you before the end.
you're in better shape than I am. My goal is just to stay with you, not beat you. Like to be very honest, I'm not trying to race you. I'm trying to just to stay with you because that's the point of running.
Until we get
This
running.
race. Well, I'm saying we haven't started yet. That's the point. That's the intention.
That's your intention.
That's my intention is to stay with you. But you're in much better shape for this type of run than I am, so I don't know if I'm capable of that.
Well, and I'm not sure how good a shape I'm in for this either. I mean, I've still been like once or twice a week.
Yeah.
And that's kind of
But
it.
you do bar.
I do bars, so that's going to make me a great runner today.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah.
It's an incredible cross training.
It's good for that, but what I miss with that is the cardio.
It's a very specific thing.
And so I hope my cardio is in the right spot for it, but we'll find out.
Well, you ran a... Sorry, everyone. We just almost hit a
No, we
biker.
didn't.
Well, they were crossing the street and we had a green. We almost hit them.
I did. I turned.
Well, I
wasn't
know,
even
but
close to
if you-
Just in the
crossing
nick of
street.
time.
I'm just saying, if you would have gone straight, we would have hit them.
I would-
They were not paying attention. Regardless, I have not run further than 4 miles Oh no, I ran 6.
You ran 6.
But really, really slow, and it was really painful.
2 months ago.
2 months ago. Yeah.
I have not run more than 5 miles.
Okay. Oh, good. So Nickie and I are on the same page.
So instead of intention, here's my prediction.
Okay.
Is I think that you and I running together, we're gonna have our first mile done in 6:30, and probably still be talking the whole time.
I think that's very accurate. Yeah.
And then the second mile would be like, we should probably slow down, and then we'll still go too fast.
Yeah.
And we're gonna hit the bottom of Doomsday having just run a 5K really hard, and then trying just to survive.
Yeah. Well, I did say the other day that my goal is to beat you up Doomsday.
Yeah.
So.
And to give it our times, I think you can beat me in a 5K just fine.
Yeah, man, I don't know. Well, we'll see. So you're sore, but yeah. I'm feeling heavy-legged, lethargic. We'll see. I might open up, and Nickie's nervous.
I'm incredibly nervous. Stomach is upset.
Man, that heavy of nerves. That's tough.
Nickie gets the pre-race though. You get that all the time, don't you?
I do.
The pre-race jitter?
Every time, yes.
Yeah.
Even for turkey trots, even for virtual races where there's no one there.
There's no one to judge you, evaluate you,
Yes.
compare with.
Yes.
But your time will be judged harshly.
By me, yes.
By
It's me versus me, and I am my worst critic.
Okay. We're almost at a stopping point. So, what are we doing for music? Or what are we listening to? Who's listening to what do you guys do?
The weirdest eclectic mix you've ever seen.
Of music?
Yes.
Okay. David?
Mine's extremely consistent of just mostly newer rap.
Okay. I think I'm gonna put my headphones in my pocket.
You going no music?
I don't know. I haven't decided.
You better just distract him. That needs to be the point.
Right, exactly. So I'm gonna put my headphones
Right on the street.
in my pocket, and I'll use them if I do, if it makes sense. All right. Well, good luck, everybody.
Let's do it.
Okay. Nickie,
Yeah.
how was yours?
You have to go.
How's your run?
I felt great about what I actually did.
Okay.
I felt great about running within my abilities and still having energy to the end,
Yeah.
but also having nothing left at
Good.
the end. So that part I feel fantastic about.
Yeah.
If I didn't know my previous time, this would all be great.
Okay.
So the goal of beating the 10 years ago's time didn't quite make that. But all things considered, I had a fantastic run. I did the very best that I could with the training that I had.
That is a much better logical answer than you have been saying since it happened. That's really good.
It's a much better attitude than
I feel like that's a lot of progress right there emotionally.
It took a couple hours to get here, yes.
Because really, you've been doing a 10K training plan, and you did a great 10K, and then you died.
And then I had to keep on going,
Yeah.
even though every muscle in my body said, we are not ready for this. Every muscle. Most of them talking to me. Yes.
Well, that's still successfully. So now you've recovered, you're happy with it.
I'm satisfied that I did the best I could do, and I couldn't have done more.
Okay. You gave everything you had.
Yeah.
I think that's
all
all
there
you
is.
can ask for. And you dressed appropriately.
I did dress appropriately.
Because it was
Let
cold,
that be noted for the
so windy,
record.
And it got colder as the run went.
It wasn't just it felt that way. It actually got colder.
Are you happy with yours?
As it went. Yeah. I think that I wasn't planning on pushing my hardest or trying to kill myself on this one.
Yeah.
I just had a really enjoyable run, and I went exactly the speed that actually slightly faster than what I planned.
Yeah. Did you run faster because I was with you?
You helped me go faster for the first 3 miles.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that was just fun.
It was too fast.
So we took off. So we took off at the beginning there, and it's crowded and you lose everybody, and so Mike took off and had to track him down, mostly because Kat took off way too fast.
I thought you were with Kat. I was trying to catch you.
And we were doing 5:30 pace, so I had to catch Mike and help things slow down a little bit.
Did you know right away that I was going too fast?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You were either going too fast or I was really wrong about my training. Like really, really, really wrong.
It was so cold that I just thought that it was hard.
Yeah, and it was. But so we did that, and then went into so you go across this flat for the first mile, then you have a good downhill for the next mile that's really pretty fast. So the important part on that downhill is to not waste energy slowing down. And so that was really cool because we ran together down that, and it was a blast, just weaving in and out around people and just going extremely quick down all that.
I think you should describe for the listeners what you were actually wearing.
What I was actually wearing?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, normal running clothes. So
normal running clothes.
So I was wearing. Well, first of all, I showed up wearing. Now, if you know Bloomsday at all, then you know that the pro tip for Bloomsday is to show up wearing warm clothes that you can then throw in a tree that then they take down from the tree and give to homeless people. So that's just part of the whole thing. So anyway, so I had some pajama pants that I was willing to part with, and a thermal and a blanket. And so that's where we're at there. But then it's so crowded at the start that you have to get rid of your stuff. So, Nickie, what were you wearing?
Well, I was wearing full-length tights, and then a long-sleeve technical top, and then a rain top, and then a hoodie over the top of that.
And we had no rain until 5 minutes before the gun. And so 10 minutes before, because it was so crowded, I got all my stuff off. And then just started freezing because I was down to then my short shorts and a tank top. Yeah. But that was not bad. While running, it was slightly on the cold end, but it was totally fine. And but we did need to warm up. The first mile was still cold.
Very cold.
And then, but I think, did you warm up within the first mile?
No. I mean, it probably took to where down Riverside, so down that big long hill, then I was kind of warmed up.
Yeah, it was right about where, right at the start of the second mile.
My hands were still struggling the whole time they were cold, but it wasn't too bad. And then by the time we were doing any type of uphill, I was fine.
Yeah. Oh, I was plenty warm through the first half of the race, just fine.
Yeah.
After, I felt stiff going that downhill. But then so the race goes flat across the top, then you go down a really long hill, probably a third of a mile down. And so you can just really let that go. And that was a blast, just having company down that, where we were trading spots, weaving in and out of people, just shooting down that hill. And then you hit a pretty hard uphill right after that.
Yeah.
And early in the race, so we just relaxed through that part.
Yeah.
And but yeah, no, I think just having the company there was great.
It was a fun
that was fun. We had a good time. Talking through the first 3 miles basically.
Yeah, I'll say 4.
Yeah. Well, we were together till 4.
Yeah.
We were talking pretty comfortably through 3.
Yeah.
And then you got that hill coming up by SFCC, and that gets breathing a little bit hard through that one.
Yeah.
Okay, so what were your first 4 miles?
They were quick, too fast in the beginning. I mean, the whole thing was just fast. It was just hard. I was trying to run like 740s, and you kept me at running 7s.
Yeah, we never ran 740s.
And that was just real fast. So I was just trying to hang on. I was trying to save a little bit for the last hill to make it up the hill, and then just not stop. I could have gone faster up the hill, but I knew if I went faster, I would have to stop.
I was gauging your breathing as we were going, and it felt like we were in the same vicinity. We were close. But you were struggling a little bit more just by hearing. You can hear the struggle in your breath. Now, your breathing was fine.
Yeah.
You can hear the struggle in your breath.
Yeah.
And it was like, okay, we're real close, but we're off by just a little bit.
My breath didn't feel bad. At any point, even at the end, my breath never felt like it was terrible.
Well, I think we found our heart rate was identical.
Yeah.
And so we were dead on, and you're breathing again. I think we were right on basically the same cadence of breathing even. And but I just heard, but as I was here, you can hear when it's a little bit more labored that you're working. Yeah,
it was definitely hard. We kind of separated right before the hill, and we were neck and neck up the hill more or less. You were slightly ahead of me, and then the last little bit you pulled away, and I was just trying to keep eyesight. I was trying to keep you within sight in the hopes that maybe I can catch up at some point.
Right.
But I didn't know how much was left. I knew I had the mile markers, but I need a visual marker of what's coming next. And I just didn't get any of that. And so it was not until like I could hear the announcer at the end, and then I'm like, oh, here we go.
Yeah.
So I caught you at the finish line, basically.
At the finish line. So,
Yeah.
so that was an
I
advantage.
was just sprinting down that hill as fast as I could.
A huge advantage I have is that I have run it 3 years in a row.
Yeah.
So I have the whole course completely memorized
Yeah.
at this point. So like every corner, everything, and like, no, you know exactly, oh, I can push here, I can relax up here, I got a rest coming up over here, so I can do that. And so, anyway, so I have that really dialed, and not knowing where that's going to come. You know, you might have 2 miles left, but it depends what those 2 miles look like.
Yeah.
As far as how hard you can actually push. So,
Yeah.
anyway, so I was ahead of you from Doomsday on, and I had no clue how far back you were.
Right.
It sounded like you were struggling. Like you just said, I'm going to let you go. I'm going to slow down for a little bit and let you go. And I just assumed that I really pulled away.
Yeah.
And so I didn't know where you were. I just assumed you were like a quarter mile back or something. I'll find him in the end. I'll probably beat him by a couple minutes.
Yeah.
And but I was watching the pace though, and we were going right along. I had a shot at under 53 minutes.
Yeah.
I knew. As soon as I got top of Doomsday, I was watching the clock and like, okay, that's possible to actually PR this thing for, not PR total, but PR as an old guy. And so I had a shot at that, but I was feeling it. I'm like, no, knocking, really getting down. I'd have to go 7 flat.
Yeah.
For the last 2.5 miles, and I didn't really quite have that in me.
Yeah.
And I mean, I could have maybe, but then you risk fainting or throwing up, and I didn't want to do either of those things.
Right.
So anyway, but cruising along, and then it came down, turned the corner to the finish line, nice downhill to the finish line. And I was feeling good, so I said, okay, I'm gonna really pick this up and sprint. Why not knock a few more seconds? I don't know exactly what my time is.
Yeah.
But maybe I can be under 54, so I'm gonna go ahead and sprint because
Yeah.
a couple seconds might make a difference. I had no idea that you were anywhere near that. Across the line, and you tap me on the shoulder.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I'm glad I sprinted. Because then Mike, had you gotten ahead of me by a couple steps, I couldn't catch you. I cannot sprint as fast as you can.
It was everything I had to get you. I was trying so hard. My legs just had nothing left.
Well, yeah, something. You were running, what, 5:30 pace on the end there?
A 4.
Yeah, no, you were. Yeah, you were. You were sub 5.
4:59.
Yeah, for
was my
last quarter mile.
fastest pace on the quarter mile.
Uh-huh.
So but it did. Yeah, I didn't have the time. If I would have known the distance from the corner to the end, I would have started earlier. But I didn't know once I rounded the corner how much was left. So
Yeah, because you have that long straight before the corner. If
Yeah.
you know how long that straight is, you can definitely plan that
like
in.
if I were to do it again, I would know better markers. Like, okay, I can push now.
Yeah.
With everything I have. But
Yeah, really once you hit the 7 mile mark with a half mile left,
yeah, I didn't know when that was coming.
you can really start to go.
Yeah. Right.
But
Comments from the crowd. Ty, what do you have to say?
I love how that the first perspective is that Nickie was fully prepared for the weather, and the boys were not prepared at all for any of the weather.
No, but counter. We were prepared, just not for the after.
Not for the after being cold.
They
Yeah.
were prepared to run it.
Yes.
Yeah, we both felt
Yes.
pretty good on the cold side, but pretty good to run.
Yeah.
What happened after?
oh geez,
We just froze.
So first of all, wearing short shorts and a tank top. If it's above 32 degrees and you're pushing,
Yeah.
that's exactly the right clothes to
I
wear.
felt comfortable. I was
But
good.
usually you get to like go home or go inside or
Yeah,
something like
something.
that. And we got to the end, and of course you have to park a long ways away. So by the time we waited at the finish line for some friends that were right within a couple minutes, so we were standing there. And then cooled off before we even started walking.
I had my shirt off right away.
Yeah.
Because I was like, it was wet. I'm like, I'm warm enough. This is fine. And then by the time we started walking from the finish line, I'm like, oh, I'm freezing now.
Yeah.
And putting the wet shirt back on feels better than no shirt.
We
at
were
the moment.
fully cooled down within 2 minutes.
Yeah.
And then you have to walk across the bridge and then over to get shirts, and it's a big race. There's a lot of process there. And as we're going through that, and then we're also just drenched from the rain and sweat and the wind.
Doesn't Bear Grylls say to get naked to get warmer?
Yeah.
That's what he says. Yeah, you're right.
Wet and naked.
Yeah. So
You're not wrong.
We probably needed some breathing techniques and some maybe law changes. But we probably both would have been game.
Yeah.
So
Just,
What it says to me is that you guys are really just more survivalist.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I found that I'm a really good survivalist for about 5 minutes. And then I'm currently sore just from shivering so much. My back hurts from clenching down and shivering.
You got, for someone who deals with cold better than me, you got really cold.
It went so bad so quick. And yeah, so we got through all of that, and then we were waiting for Nickie and just getting through all the stuff, and then to walk all the way back to the car.
Yeah.
And that was brutal. And so I got home, got a ton of oatmeal and a hot shower.
Nickie tried to give you her sweatshirt to put on, but it was too wet and it wasn't worth it.
It was drenched. She had it around her waist, and water was splattering up on the whole time. Like the sleeves were completely wet. Like, I put this on, I'm just gonna get colder. This is not a good idea.
All in all, it was fun. It was okay.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I had a blast.
It was all right.
I mostly like getting to weave in and out of people with you was so much fun.
There were fun moments. Being better prepared would make it more fun.
And then having you with me, where again we were right at the same speed, and that was a ton of fun. Then to just get to strategize with a person.
Yeah.
And and I love Pat when you're running with somebody and you both get to pass somebody.
Yeah.
It's extra fun.
It-
Right? You get them on
that
both
is true.
sides. And go around, and you're just weaving in and out of people and changing who's in front and who's in back and going around. And so it really is full on reminiscent of when Buzz and I did it back in 1996.
Right.
And it was the same thing. You know, we're running 6-minute pace, and this is when Bloomsday was different back then. So we were 6,000 people back.
Right.
You know, and we're running 6-minute pace, just weaving everybody, run up in people's yards, jumping spectators. You know. And it reminded me of that a lot. That was just so much fun to just to get to do a little people slalom.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. Downhill, it was very fast.
That was a blast. And then even I didn't think I was in good hill shape, but hitting Doomsday
hills,
felt
yeah.
great.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't my fastest by any means,
Yeah.
but you could just kind of put your head down. I able to keep a stride the whole time. It was
Yeah.
just comfortable. So we should have pushed. We rested at mile 2. On that first steep uphill, and I even said it. I'm like, I'm gonna take this one easy.
Yeah, you did.
It's steep, but it's short. I'm gonna take it easy here, and that was our worst mile of the whole thing.
Yeah,
I could have saved
fine.
30 seconds just not doing that.
I was fine resting that mile.
But
I was okay with it.
yeah,
I was at to catch you
that was
right before that hill.
No, the one right before that.
Oh.
Yeah, so you had to tie your shoe, tie your shoe, get a cup of coffee and all that. And but you planned that at least with a downhill to be able to chase back after me.
I didn't plan it. It just worked out.
It worked out just right.
It was fine.
I don't think I would have tied my shoe.
Oh, I would have. My shoes
early on,
when my
too.
shoes go, they just start going. So
Yeah.
it would have been miserable.
My shoe came untied with 2 miles left.
Yeah, you just left it go.
There's no way I'm stopping there. Like, just trying to go, especially when you're 5 miles in.
Yeah,
Then trying to get momentum going at that point again is really hard.
it is. It's very hard.
I just my shoe was staying tight enough.
Yeah.
That I thought I'm just gonna stick with it. So anyway, but it was a blast. We had a bunch of friends PR.
Yeah,
That was
it was fun.
a
It was a
lot
good.
of
It was a good time.
Yeah.
As much as I like to complain about it. Did you have something to say, Mom? Okay. Nickie, closing thoughts?
Wear more clothes.
We'll see. That's debatable. I don't know if that's worth it.
If you do it again, maybe we will have a kit in the car for just in case you're wet.
Maybe it'll be warmer.
Maybe it will be warmer.
Last year was hot.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had clothes in the car. I could put clothes on. I was fine.
So I have a question.
Yeah. Yes.
Would you do it again?
I don't know. If I do it again, I gotta train for it. I gotta actually run a little bit.
David,
Yeah.
what are your plans for next
Are
year?
you gonna do it next year?
Oh yeah, for sure. No, I had so much fun. Yeah, that was a blast.
So do you need Mike to do it with you to make it have fun?
Well,
have
I'd
fun?
appreciate the company.
I can probably be talked into it. I'm sure.
If not, I'm gonna have to have somebody else that can run my pace.
So Nikki,
Which is hard to find.
are you gonna come again?
Yeah.
Maybe if Tiana wants me to.
Oh.
Oh,
Tyler, are you
some
doing it next
pressure.
year?
Nope. I don't think
Is one of your girls gonna do it though?
if one of my girls wants to do it, I'll do it with them.
Hey,
at
there
their
we go.
pace.
Okay, so we have some. That's our entry point. We got to
Yeah,
work on
there you go.
work on one of the girls.
Christy,
We gotta work on
are
the
you in
kids.
next year?
Are you going next year?
All right, Christy's in
Christy's
for sure
in
next
next
year.
year.
She's
Okay.
already qualified for yellows too.
Oh, good.
With her time
Wonderful.
last year, so she gets to start up with us too.
Easy.
Yep.
Okay.
Your mangoes.
All right. Done.
Yeah.
Hi.